Good morning once again, my beauty, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Pravala, but you can call me MP. I talk about magic and manifestation from the lens of a woman, using our sexual energy, our sacred sexuality, in order to live our best life. So it includes manifestation, right? But if you're new to my channel, let me just say that I do not abide by beliefs, so-called beliefs, false, erroneous beliefs held by mainstream spirituality or mainstream law of attraction, mainstream stuff that tends to mix up occult concepts and turn them into pseudo spirituality. So if you didn't watch my previous video, I am now packing the special blend of the sacred root, which is going to help you in my manifestation webinar to just be more present and to be able to sense whatever invisible spirit wants to make themselves known to you. So the topic of this video is going to be about the fact that, again, you will see in a lot of videos or content that they will tell you, actually I don't have much space, I have so many more to make. You're gonna see people telling you that you're always manifesting, even when you manifest stuff that you don't want. How are you able, even using your logical mind, how can you believe such nonsense? How can I manifest something I don't want? Manifestation is an arbitrary thing, okay? It's arbitrary. It's free will. So it's not logical for anyone to tell you that, yes, you have free will, yes, you're able to manifest whatever you want, but you've been blocked by hidden beliefs of your subconscious mind and all of that jargon that they're using, either because they're confused themselves, they're trying as they're going, or because they straight up don't know, or they're lying to you, because it's easy to sell you that stuff because you, the viewer, love to be lied to. You love that. You love to binge watch stuff that make you tap into concepts that keep you a victim. For example, a lot of you believe in healing. I'm in the healing stage. I'm in the healing process. There's no such thing as healing. You know? There's no reason why you should be stuck in healing forever. You know, there's no such thing as being trapped in a dark, I don't know what they call it. You know, a time when you have your awakening and you're suffering and you have all of this trauma. All of us have encountered traumatic experiences. If I started to tell you all of the traumatic things I've lived, you would see that your life is peachy. But you like the excuse of healing, of shadow work. Here's another one. Here's another lie. Shadow work. When things are happening to you that you don't like, that you don't want, that you don't desire, you're simply not manifesting. Manifesting is something that you decide and that happens. If you're not manifesting something you want, you're basically haunted. Period. Meaning that you have implants which are associated with negative entities. I'll call them negative entities, especially if you're new to my work. I don't want to scare you. But we're basically born puppets. We're born as avatars of our invisible, our divine self. So imagine we are in a video game. This vehicle here, which is my body, which I chose, just like you go to, I like to give this example. My daughter plays a video game that's called The Sims. And basically, she picks the clothes, she picks the hair color, she picks the character, she picks the moods of the people that she's going to put in different houses and things like that. So it's basically the same. So the higher version of you, the invisible version of you, which has many layers, which is the divine aspect of you, has chosen this avatar to live a life, a 3D, a human experience. So it comes with good things and bad things. Everyone has good things and bad things. Equally. Not equally as in everyone is born with a mansion and a Bentley and a Rolls Royce and everyone has the same beauty. No. But everyone, it's balanced. Everyone has the same amount of blessings and the same amount of curses or things where they're not lucky. The goal is to be able to tie yourself back to the group of entities where you have as much luck as possible to get the manifestation, your realization of yourself in this lifetime. So when you're not manifesting something that you want, it means that you have not done the purification you need. Because I will tell you, when you're cursed, the moment you do a ritual to remove the curse, basically cut the attachment, cut the link, cut the relationship that you didn't know you had with a negative entity, it's immediate, it's instant. The next day you feel different, you feel relieved. It's not like when you get the flu where, you know, they get you stuck in the healing process where they're like, you know, you're going to take medication, you're going to whatever, and then the more you do it, the more you're going to feel better. No. The day they cut the link from negative entities that are using up your energy for their own good to serve themselves, so you know your energy pumping you, it's overnight. You feel better. Now you have to rebuild your life basically from being a new person, from being reborn. However, you're not stuck in trauma. You shouldn't even think about the past trauma. It's a new life. So you don't need to be stuck in shadow work. You don't need to be stuck with the old implants. Unless, of course, they turn you on, which is one reason why you don't manifest. The fact that every single manifestation is based on our sexual energy. The goal of sexuality as an energy is to tap into the pleasure principle. I've said it before in other videos. Okay, let me remove this and do a new set. In other videos, I've explained that in my country, in this autochthonous indigenous spirituality that we practice, God, the experience of God, and one of the names of the unnameable God, that which you may call source energy, you have so many names as mainstream Westerners to call something that should be unnameable. However, it's always a masculine force which keeps you with a lot of constraints. For us, the source, as us being feminine entities in the flesh, is pleasure. One of the names of God, Nzame, is pleasure. So we manifest through pleasure. Whenever you also don't manifest, it means that it's still activating your sexual energy. So there's something that still turns you on about not manifesting. But you're not manifesting. Manifesting means I start a process which comes from a vision, the vision of my timeline. So it's not visualizing, it's the vision, not a visualization. We're not tapping into somebody else's life map, lifeline, timeline. We're tapping into ours. Once we have the vision, we're like, okay, if you give me the vision, it means that it's possible for me. So the first part of manifesting is, first of all, realizing whether or not you are actually tapping into your own. Whether the vision that you have is not something that you borrowed from envy, from something that you see other people have. You have to be true to your own, authentically yourself. So if for you, the most amazing life is living alone in a mountain, but you have been brainwashed to believe that you need to live in a beautiful, modern, architectural building, because this is what has been shown to you, all of those images have programmed you, then you're not tapping into your own timeline. You're tapping into images that are there to make you feel less than worthy. So the first part is really tapping into what is yours. The second part is connecting to who's blocking you. Who is currently blocking you? Which is the entity that is blocking you? Is it a negative entity? Is it a curse? Or is it you not having honored your own spirit entities? It could be you, that divine aspect of you, the entity that I call when I say awakening your own goddess. It could be it could be your ancestry, someone in your ancestry with whom you had made a pact that you should do XYZ in this lifetime in order to live the optimal life. So they're blocking you because you had made that vow that we need to do the work together. So it's not necessarily a negative entity that is blocking you. And once you have that, they will tell you, okay, this is how we work together. And once you know that, then you can tap into the vision. What is the vision that they gave you? Oops. What is the vision that they gave you? They're in the other room. But I'm not gonna stop this video. Anyways, so this is the vision that I had. So now how do I bring it to this avatar that I am, which has a mind, which has a heart to receive, which has this fuel, which is in our womb? Because again, if you're watching me, you are a woman, so we're using the power of your womb, that area where you create, that the altar within you to create. So you have to take into account all of that. Is there work that I need to do? And that's why you need to do your sacred moaning on a daily basis to keep that furnace, that womb space hot, to always creating. That's why you also need to, that's why I talk about sexuality a lot in terms of intimacy, not giving your sexuality away, practicing sacred sexuality, associating yourself with partners who are holy, who have uplifting sacred entities themselves, not partners that are full of freaking negative entities and you're with them and they make you feel miserable, but because of your low vibration entities, your own attachments, because if you're part of my spiritual membership, you know that there's no such thing as a relationship, between a woman and a man that was not approved prior to existing in the 3D. Our spiritual entities have to be compatible in order for us to even be attracted to one another or to keep the relationship. If someone is cursed and you're attracted to them, you have to know that you're cursed yourself. If you're going through the relationship, it means that those two entities are here to deplete you of more of your energy because they're not really high vibrational, divine entities, ethereal entities. So if right now your spirit guides, I use quotation marks because you guys love that, spirit guides, It means absolutely nothing. It is rubbish to even use that. But at least when I use those words, you feel like you know something. It means that your spirit guides are demons, basically. Negative entities. The moment you're in attraction with someone who's uplifting you, it means that you've gone up a level. You have attained through sacred self-seduction so much love of yourself, so much purification. You've washed yourself with all of the feminine rituals that we do, that there's no other way around it. A man who is, in terms of entity, a match to you is going to serve you the way you're supposed to be served as a goddess. Doesn't make sense. So, bringing it back to manifestation. Let me put this aside. You always are a puppet of the invisible. Always. Now the question is, as per your free will, who do you choose to associate with? By default, if you don't believe in that stuff, then we know you associate with random entities. So you can have good luck in some aspects, bad luck in some aspects. Whatever curses you have, you're going to reproduce them over and over and over and over and over again. I don't care how beautiful you are, how smart you are, how rich you are, how amazing in bed you are in terms of the gymnastics that you do and all of the magazines that you've read. If you're full of still those links as a puppet to negative entities, you can't move past that. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to feel love for yourself. You're going to be stuck in healing. You're going to be looking for excuses every day to do emotional release. When in reality, the easiest way, the shortcut, is to activate your sexual energy. Tap directly into God, into pleasure, into joy. The moment you're like that, in that high state of joy, of pleasure, sacred pleasure, not instant gratification, those are not the same, then you stay, those entities that are divine stay with you, because you're a temple, you're a holy temple. One thing that law of attraction people have right is the fact that like attracts like. You're a magnet, but you're not a magnet to some abstract cloud energy in the atmosphere, which is what a lot of people visualize when they say, energy. No. You're a magnet because you're surrounded by high-level entities, divine entities, that make you a magnet of divine encounters, divine interactions, so that you receive your divine entitlements. The whole notion of consciousness of one, the law of one, even that they talk about, another bullshit. There's no such thing as the law of one it's a law. The law exists because there are entities, law enforcement entities. So you talk about some law which you keep in the abstract, but you don't think about who are the law enforcement entities. Those are the ones that you should care about. How do I connect with the law enforcement entities? When I talk about the law of one, it's just because my divine entities or my negative entities are doing the work in the invisible to put me in contact with other negative entities or other divine entities, so that they set up the work, they open the road for me, or they close the road for me, so that either I manifest or I don't. So there is no such thing as you always manifest, even when you don't even when you manifest something that is not right, something that you don't like, you're still manifesting. No. You still have the potential to manifest, aka you still have the ability every day as you wake up to turn yourself into a manifestation machine. And as a woman, you need to do sacred self-seduction rituals. If you come to someone like me, you're going to do sacred moaning. You're going to apply your potion, because it is how you anoint a temple. You anoint a temple with a magic elixir geared towards your own type of manifestation. Sorry. So, when you're not manifesting, it means that you are not doing the rituals that keep you in that state of the negative entities that are creating the negative circumstances in my life. They don't come near me. It's so simple. So, no, you're not always manifesting. It is a lie, or it is the most ignorant thing you could ever believe in. You only manifest when whatever you put your spiritual self and your mind into by doing, yes, exercises on a daily basis to keep your mind in check with your divine self. But it's even sort of a given, because the moment you link up with your divine entities and you've connected with the vision, then you wake up every day looking forward to doing the manifestation exercise, your affirmations, the rituals surrounding your vision board, which is why I'm creating this manifestation webinar, because they're here, a whole bunch of ignorant, pretty people are here to tell you that just because you sat down and cut up a whole bunch of beautiful images from Pinterest of you in your private jet and you with dating this movie star, or you having a whole new different body than yours, you having this perfect life, which is a life of unreal, which is a borrowed notion of happiness, that just because you did that, boom, 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 and I get my glass of whatever, and I'm putting the photos together and then I put it against my wall, then magically you're going to manifest everything on your board. No. Even your vision board has to be, you have to turn it into a portal, which you have to activate and which has to be part of your daily rituals. You have to ritualize your those tools. Why a minority of people are going to say, and I don't want to doubt what they're saying, it's not my job, and as a well-balanced and thriving and self-loving Venusian, I will tell you that it's never my place to judge, or it's never my place to doubt when someone shows up on the screen. Even though, when I see some stuff that is ludicrous, I just feel, oh my God, they're just wasting their time, or they're teaching people such nonsense. But if they're teaching that nonsense and some people believe in that, it means that it's part of their journey. So I would never really have any type of opinion when I see lies or I see false truths. So my take is that when someone shows up and tells you that they're doing affirmations, or they're setting up a vision board, or they're doing all the exercises, manifestation exercises that supposedly worked out 1,000%, it is, first of all, a large minority, and it just shows that they tapped into a vision that was already theirs, that even if they didn't do the vision board, or even if they didn't do the affirmation, it was already ingrained in them. So the tool was just there to maybe maximize or speed up the process of something they were already supposed to have. Meaning that in terms of specifically what they put, or they repeated on that manifestation exercise, there were no curses. They had no blocks. They had no entities. They had no generational curse. They had no implant on any sort based on that. However, you don't know people's lives. And like I said, everyone is born with the same, unless you start doing the rituals to get rid of forever any attachment to those negative entities or low vibrating entities, the people that you see may manifest the private jet because they meant to manifest the private jet, or they manifested the love, the beautiful, loving relationship. However, you don't know their life. Maybe in 5 years, they're going to manifest a cancer. Who knows? Or maybe in a couple of years, they're going to have something happening to them that is the curse. That was not part of the vision board. In the vision board, they had a set of things that they wanted. That was part of their vision already, that they didn't have to work on. But the stuff that they didn't work on, which they're not coming on social media to tell you about, those curses, they're still going to experience that. But no one shows up on social media to say, hey, I manifested the beautiful trips that I put on my vision board, but here I am, lonely because I manifested that, but I can't keep a relationship. You know what I mean? No one shows up and says, I manifested that. However, I also manifested my curse. So you have to be careful, because all of us are going to show up in a way that is going to all of us. If you know me, you know that I'm not part of that. If you're part of my spiritual membership, you would know that I show up no makeup, in my towel, in my pajamas, my hair not done, just because I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. That was the first time that I had my first encounter with divine entities. I have been receiving money, getting money from clients, from doing what I do here since I was 19 years old. I am 42 years old. Nothing beats experience. Someone who's going to say that last year they manifested the guy of their dream and now they're selling you a course to show you that, and you're buying the course, whatever price. Sometimes they sell it cheap because it is cheap. They sell it to you $100, $150. They just went through the gimmicks of how to sell a PDF, how to sell whatever. You're buying it. It's low level. Someone who manifested a relationship last year coming and telling you that now I have a formula, and you're buying into that, not even knowing whether or not there's longevity in that manifestation. I applaud them, because you're the dumb one. And what they're doing is just selling you the 1% that they're good at. Period. And you're buying it as a universal truth. If someone doesn't come to me saying, I've been married for 50 years and now I'm going to teach you the formula, then I don't believe it. Period. If someone teaches me how to tap into sacred feminine energy, and I don't know their entire life, I don't see that they've been good at it for years and years and years, I don't buy into it. If I showed up to you when I was 19 years old, but having 13 years, or what is it, 19 minus 6, 13 years of experience since the first day I manifested, or I saw my first divine entity, then yes, you can say, okay, she's only 19, but she's a prodigy, which I was. I had 13 years of experience at 19. So it's not about the age, but it's about the pedigree. And all of you want instant gratification. And that's what keeps you either not believing or doubting, because you experience so much of the gimmicks that you end up doubting. And doubt is also a negative entity. It exists. It is here to whisper doubts to you, especially when you're encountering the right people, because you have fear of lack, scarcity implants, because those entities need to keep you poor. Not poor as in money, Could be poor in terms of finances, believing in the illusion of poverty, getting stuck in, like the people ask me, yeah, no, I want to pay for this, but like, how do I get the money to pay for it? This is a question from someone who's still attached, who has a loving relationship with negative entities. So I would tell them, stop the relationship with those negative entities. And the way you do it is through all of the rituals that I teach, or you go to some healer. I mean, I'm not the only one who does that, but that protocol at least has the privilege of making you feel good instantly. I don't keep you stuck in shadow. I don't keep you stuck in understanding why I have those patterns and why I need to tap into my emotions and why my subconscious mind is blocking me and all of that stuff. That is also a limiting belief, and the limiting beliefs are the treasure of negative entities. That's why you have those whispers, believing that all of that poverty of mind is real. When you believe that, there are no men out there. There are no good men out there. I've had clients who tell me that. There are no good men out there. Or, I don't believe in good sacred sexuality. I just feel like, Or all of those things that I hear that are like, yeah, okay, you have a love, you still really, really take very serious, very personal your relationship with negative entities. You still believe them so much that you keep yourself stuck. Or you're so afraid of loving yourself, of touching what does it really feel to love yourself, that you get stuck in the excuses. Healing. You still have a lot of healing to do. You need to go through that healing process. Shadow work, oh my God, like I have to do the shadow work. Shadow work is a bummer. Or you have to connect your inner child. In the pleasure principle, that inner child is always loved because it's always, cared for. It always has a little candy here and there, to love you, to make you feel sweet and good. If you want to connect with the doubts, you want to connect with that inner child that was traumatized, yes. Again, if I told you my story, you would see that I probably have more trauma or more traumatic experiences than the majority of anyone watching my video. Yet, you believe so hard that yours is what's blocking you. If you have those entities, we're going to see that in the manifestation webinar. Whomever is blocking you, we're going to see that. We're going to make sure that we are good in that department, so we rekindle whatever relationship needs to be rekindled. Everyone is going to be different, and that is the goal, and that is why I'm taking also a limited number of people. Like I said, ultimately you're going to use the tools because we need the tools, but then I'm going to end the webinar with the most amazing thing, which is how to maneuver with those agents, those law enforcement agents of the invisible, the ones who are making law of attraction happen, the ones who are ensuring law of assumption happens, law of one, law of preparation, law of the blah, 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 blah. We don't even care. You shouldn't care about which law is happening. When you look at your life now, from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to bed, look at every single aspect of your life, and you tell me, you should know whether or not you're surrounded or you have a relationship with manifestation agents or law enforcement who are here to keep you in your curses, keep you low, keep you trying, keep you oh my God, the other ones, the archivers, the ones who know everything about spirituality, but they don't want to. I'm afraid of what might happen. Like, it's already part of you. It's already part of you. Or the ones who know all of the terms in the dictionary about mainstream spirituality, they know everything. And I'm like, why are you coming to me? Since you have all of the answers. You shouldn't need someone like me. And yet you have all of the definitions, vibrations, quantum field, love assumption, all of the writers and all of the, the authors who mastered love. Oh, this thing, Neville Goddard, or what is this? So many ones. Like, why are you here? Why are you not flourishing? Why are you not thriving in your life? Every aspect. Meaning that you have good health. You love your body. You go to bed smiling. Your sex life is absolutely amazing. Like, every time you have sex, you're doing a magical exercise. You're actually doing a spell. And your man can't get enough of you. You're so in connection with your man that you're sore because the moment it touches you, that's it. And it's not about your astrology, because I've heard that also, where women are like, yeah, because I'm an Aquarius and Cancer man like this and that. So much nonsense that I hear. When you're practicing secret self-seduction and you show up as the goddess, I will tell you, every single man I've been with, and I've been with less than 10 men, much less than 10 men in my life, in terms of intimacy, all of them have called me goddess in bed. All of them. And none of them were spiritual in that sense, practicing spirituality. For them, my life, that aspect of my life is it's a mystery to them. It's also part of the whole enchantment, I guess. They're fascinated by that, even though they may not believe in that. But whatever it is, me in bed with a man, at some point, very, very soon, he calls me goddess. And he can't get enough of me, to the point where I am sore. So you look at that. Look at your health. Look at your mental health. Look at your anxiety level. As a super achieving, as a super caregiver, as a super successful, as a super athletic, as a super, I already said caregiver, I'm taking care of everything and everyone. As a super intellectual, as a super career, as a super, yes, all of the stuff that they tell you today and people are going to associate it with, but they're masculine. Yes, I have to use that jargon, especially if, on social media, because I know all of you are just so ignorant. To say, oh yes, I have to be in my masculine, I have to be in my toxic masculine because I don't meet men who are providers. No. You don't meet men who are your style of man, whether it's provider or whatever, or athletes or whatever. First of all, because maybe those are not the type of men your soul signature signed up for. And second, because you're cursed. Those men don't look at you because of whatever is still the gunk that you have and the negative law enforcement entities that are still attached to you. But you're taking an experience, turning it into a programming to justify why you're now in something called toxic masculine energy. There's no such thing as energy. Again, what is energy? Is it your aura? Is it something that you pick? What is what is masculine energy and feminine energy? You're justifying a behavior, your tendency to have a bad behavior, or at least a behavior that is not serving you, a behavior that is not creating pleasure, a behavior that is compensating for your lack of connection with yourself, and it's only through the connection with yourself that you actually experience self-love. Self-love is not me saying, oh, I'm gonna do a bath and put it on TikTok, you know, luxury girl, I'm doing a bath every weekend, or I'm going on a spa. You can do all of that and still not feel divine love for yourself, and still look at yourself in the mirror and pick yourself apart and not feeling perfect in your vessel. So you take the whole thing upside down. It's not because there are no providers or no men, balanced, harmonious, ready to commit men around you that you don't have a choice but to become masculine or be in your masculine energy. No, you are in your masculine energy by default because you're disconnected from your goddess, from your feminine aspect, your divine feminine, which is an entity, like I said in the beginning of the video. And because you're disconnected from her and you are cultivated your curses, and those entities are still around you, the invisible entities are actually energy. The thing you call energy are invisible entities. And because you keep the tight bond with those entities is the reason why you're not meeting the man that you feel should be that ideal type for you. So it's upside down. There is no such thing as a woman who acts on her masculine energy. It is, again, a false belief that you turned into some sort of, now it's your go-to excuse for the things that you don't have in your life. You are always manifesting when the things that you desire innately come to you. Yes, you're going to have to work at it. You have to take action for it to happen. But if 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals the amount, it's going to happen without you feeling like you're a lab rat, without feeling like, oh my God, I'm just doing all of that stuff and nothing is happening. If it's meant to happen, yes, you're manifesting it. If it doesn't happen, regardless of how much you want, how much will, whatever, it means you're not manifesting. It means other entities or other people are manifesting you in that state of being depleted, being mentally, financially, relationship-wise poor, in a state of scarcity. The way you know that you're manifesting is when there's harmony. So I love you. Register for the manifestation webinar if you're in that state of scarcity. If you're not and you're ready, just jump into anointing your temple and you use my potions as part of your daily sacred self-seduction, your sacred morning ritual. All of the info is in my description box. I love you and I see you in my next video.